Okay. So great. Thank you so much for coming tonight. We're going to be having a basics and beyond, and the beyond part of that is in bold letters in italicized because we're going to spend more time on the beyond part of our class tonight. And in a couple of weeks, we'll go ahead and have a good basics class for you. But we felt like we had a lot to tell you about. There have been a lot of new products. There have been some old products that have been changed up a little bit. So it's going to be great to be able to share that information with you. So I guess I'll go ahead and start with a share and show you the Mother's Day product that we have. Can y'all see that?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
sweet. Good, good, good. So this is a limited time offer for Mother's Day. I think that this was the kit that was supposed to be available to us during the holiday season, but we had some supply chain issues, and so now it's available to you. And it comes with the gua sha massage tool, which is an ancient Chinese technique that stimulates the lymphatic system, improves circulation, and also naturally lifts your skin. And it comes with the yarrow palm serum, the body serum, the renewal serum, and the 15 milliliter bottle of yarrow palm. And I was excited to share what I love about these products. These are two of my very favorites. I use yarrow palm just about every day. There are so many health benefits associated with yarrow essential oil, but then it's combined with pomegranate seed oil, which is the POM part. It has huge benefits for healthy cellular regeneration. It's an anti-cancer product. It's a very high antioxidant, so it helps to regenerate just healthy cells. It's a great product to help tighten up your skin. It's a wonderful product to massage the skin. I love to use the body serum after I get out of the shower, and I put a little pumps in my hand and I give the girls a little love because it's very good for breast tissue. So it's got all kinds of wonderful benefits to it. And I think what makes the Gua Sha Beauty Collection so nice is that if you've been interested to purchase the yarrow palm in our regular catalog, but were dissuaded because of the price, this gives you a chance to try the products without such a big expense. You do get a smaller size bottle, but you'll have a chance to really give it a go and see how you feel about it. If anybody's done the Melt Method mini facelift treatment with me, you'll know what the benefits are of massaging the connective tissue of the face. It just gives you that natural lift, and the skin just looks fresh and healthy. It just got a great glow about it because you've improved the circulation. So I hope that you'll give those products a try. And then any questions about yarrow palm? Is anybody using yarrow palm? Feel free to speak up.
No, I'm excited to try it.
If you haven't tried it before, just know that it's blue. And when you put it on your face, you'll look initially a little Smurf-like. But that blue does blend in and disappear within a few seconds. So don't be alarmed and don't let it keep you from putting it on your face because you will not stay blue.
There it is. Can you see it in my hand?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what it looks like. And I'm going to go ahead and stop share so you can see what that looks like once I put it on my skin. So it's a little blue. You can mix it in with your hydrating cream so that you can just use it in a one-step process, but it really is great. It really helps to soften fine lines and wrinkles. It's a wonderful way to take care of your skin if you've had any scarring. It's really good, really, really good for you. So there's that. Okay, so let's move on to the next one that I have the responsibility of sharing with you. Let's see, share. And of course,
Yarrow palm, Wendy. Also, when I do it, I put it on my face and it makes my face so soft. I also put a couple of drops on my tongue because you can take internally, and it's very good for your cellular function and very good for, just helping you to stay young. So
Absolutely. That's such a great point. So while I have the bottle in my hand, you can see it says essential oil supplement. And that tells you that this is a product that you can take internally. So yes, you can take it right underneath your tongue. And although these capsules are not included in the Mother's Day collection, we also have the yarrow palm in a capsule to allow you to take it internally. Okay, so I've been on a real rave of our
I have a
abode
question,
line.
sorry. I have a question, it's Wanda. Did I hear someone say they put it on their tongue, the yarrow palm?
Yes, it's good for
Okay,
your function, Wanda.
good for what?
Cellular function.
Okay,
Yeah, it's great.
thank you.
Yeah,
So a
so
couple drops on your face and a couple drops on your tongue, and you're good to go for the day.
yeah, so what it does is it helps with something called cellular apoptosis. And that means that if you have an unhealthy cell, it's going to help that cell die. It helps it pass on, and it also helps you to regenerate just your healthy cells. And if you spend a little bit of time and just Google yarrow, if you just Google pomegranate seed oil, you'll be amazed at the research that they're doing with regards to the proliferation of cancer cells and the benefits of using pomegranate oil. It's amazing. So don't be shy, go ahead and look that up. Anybody else? Okay, I'm going to go on to Abode. So I've been just on a rave of the Abode product line, and we've been spending the last couple of classes talking to you about ways to use Abode. And I hope you had a chance to watch my speed clean in 10 minutes with the Abode products. I just love this. And when I was looking up on the doTERRA site, just some other things to tell you about Abode. One of the things that became crystal clear to me was that the products that you buy from the stores have things like parabens and triclosan and phthalates, and you may not know what those things are. So I'm just going to spend a moment and tell you about that. So when you purchase the Abode products, one of the benefits is that you are not getting parabens, triclosan, and phthalates. So parabens, which come in the conventionally purchased products, are preservatives, and they are found in breast cancer tumors. And they contribute to sterility in males, hormone imbalance in women, and early puberties. Now, sometimes parabens are not listed on the labels of conventionally purchased products because they don't have to. They don't have to put all of the ingredients on their labels, so you don't even know if it's got it in there or not. Triclosan is another chemical that is often found in conventionally purchased cleaning products that you will not find in your Abode product line. It is a synthetic antibacterial. The EPA has registered triclosan as a pesticide with risks to human health and the environment, and it is suspected to cause cancer. And then one more, I could go on and on with this, but just in the interest of time, I'm just going to pick 3 chemicals. There are no phthalates. Phthalates are known to cause damage to the liver and kidneys. They cause birth defects, decrease sperm counts, and they cause early puberty. You know, the more you read about these conventional products, the more sick to your stomach you're going to get. I mean, it's disgusting to me, the things that these manufacturers can get away with. So I hope that you'll put your money where your mouth is, and that you will decide that this is the right approach for you and your family. It couldn't be any easier to use them, and they are wonderful products for your health and for your environment. Okay, off my soapbox and on to the last topic that I have to share with you. Anybody using Abode? Anybody using this? Yeah,
yeah.
good. Yep, love.
The
Okay.
dishwasher and the laundry, yes.
Yeah, I love that multi-purpose spray. I think that's phenomenal. Okay, the last thing I have to share with you is lavender. I would love for somebody to tell me what their favorite use for lavender is. Who uses lavender, and how do you use it?
You know, Wendy, what I use it for, I have a tendency when I get, I don't know why, but you know, when I get stressed, I get little hives, maybe even like a bump comes out, itchy bump on my face or underneath my chin or somewhere. And I just go and get my lavender and I dab it on there to calm it down so I don't.
Perfect. I love that. And if you get a bug bite, it helps to get rid of the little itchies. What else? How
Right.
else are you using your lavender?
Me, I
So-
use it on my son. You know, he's hyperactive. So if he knows he's is really hyper in the evening, he'll come up to me and he'll put his wrist out and put his neck down because they want me to put some lavender on him.
Nice.
And it's
I
help
love
him.
that. I love that he knows to ask you for that. That's great.
I know,
Really
it's
great.
awesome.
Nice. Well, we have many uses for lavender. It does say that is an essential oil supplement on the side of the bottle. Perfect exploration for using it topically, as we've just discovered. You can use this internally, and we have remedies for seasonal distress that include lavender. And you can also, of course, use it aromatically. Who doesn't love it in their diffuser, especially in the evening, to help de-stress the nervous system and help provide you for that transition into sleep. So it's such a great product. What you might not know about our lavender is that it has been given the first and only designation of a pharmaceutical grade product. So we all are, of course, familiar with the certified pure therapeutic grade, but now it is a pharmaceutical grade. And that may not mean much to you. I mean, it's the same awesome product that you've been using year after year. But what it means is that every time you open up a bottle of lavender oil, there's only a 2% variation from one batch to the next. doTERRA has cracked the code to be able to consistently manufacture a plant product. And when you think about that, it's pretty remarkable because the environment is always different. We have different kinds of weather, different kind of soil conditions, growing conditions, and yet doTERRA has figured out how to create an essential oil with all those variables to create a similar product from one batch to the next. What it means is that doTERRA can now be used in clinical research studies because the product is the same from one batch to the next. So the product isn't going to cause a variable in the testing results. So it's the first product that we have in our lineup that has a pharmaceutical grade, but I do recall that doTERRA told us that it won't be the last and that their goal is to have every essential oil have this pharmaceutical grade quality to it. So I think that's really remarkable because it brings doTERRA up into a bigger playing field. We can play with the big boys and really show off how powerful these oils are. We already know, but it really is about showing off to the rest of the world. The lavender essential oil is sourced in Bulgaria and in France. And what I've read is that there are other places around the world where we do get the raw materials for lavender. And doTERRA has been able to create a recipe based on the essential oils coming out of those different global environments to create a recipe that gives it consistency from one bottle to the next. That's my thing.
Thanks, Wendy. And you guys, that is a really big deal because, a lot of people that don't believe in essential oils and think they're voodoo or snake oils or whatever, getting a pharmaceutical grade designation. And then, that's huge. And to be able to share that with people who are non-believers and say, guys, this lavender is pretty magical stuff. It's pharmaceutical grade, so that's a great thing. Anyway, I'm going to talk about 3 of our new touch oils, and Kathy's going to talk about another one of our new touch oils. But I wanted to ask you if you guys even realize what our touch oils are. Does everybody know what the touch oil is? Raise your hand if you do. Okay, so most do. There's maybe a few that don't. Okay, so the touch oils, I love that doTERRA did this because many of our oils need to be diluted, right? Just for safety, for sensitivity, or, just because you want to dilute it if you're using it with children or elderly or whatever. So they came out with the touch solution and it comes in a roller ball. So all 3 of these oils that I'm going to talk about, they all come in a 15 ml bottle. And so they've only recently been put in the 10 ml roller balls. So first I'm going to talk about the Copaiba. Now Copaiba, many of you have probably used it in the 15 ml. Some of you may not even know about it. Copaiba is how it's actually pronounced, and it comes from Brazil, and it is an amazing, amazing oil. It is steam distilled from the tree resin from Brazil. It is a commanding, comforting, and magnifying oil as far as the emotional aspects go. It also comes in capsules, so that's another delivery system to take them internally. All three of these oils you can use topically, internally, and aromatically, okay? So the Copaiba, I love having this, and I use it a lot. Copaiba has a lot of similarities to CBD. It works on the endocannabinoid system of our bodies, okay? I'm not going to get into all the details because we've talked about this many, many times. But Copaiba has a higher concentration of BCP than CBD oil does. And Copaiba is a much safer option because there's no possibility of any THC being in it. A lot of people are afraid to use CBD oils because of the possibility of the THC in there. And Copaiba does not come, see, and it comes from a tree resin, as I said. Excuse me, it supports issues like arthritis, inflammation, physical discomfort, any sort of pain, bacterial and fungal issues. Blood helps with incontinence. I never knew that. Okay, there we go. Anyway, so it is just an amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. Great for arthritis. And I mean any kind of arthritis, okay? Because there's several different types of arthritis, and Copaiba is a wonderful one. And recently, doTERRA created a new stick. Kathy's going to be talking about it, but it's our deep blue stick, and they've added Copaiba into the deep blue. And I think it adds that extra punch that really helps relieve the pain, okay? You'll find Copaiba in several of our blends. The Rescuer blend for kids, which is kind of for pain relief, but it's a milder oil combo for kids. And then the new deep blue stick, as I had mentioned. The emotional component of the Copaiba, it's called the oil of unveiling. And so it assists individuals to move past things and unveil old stuff that they may feel guilt or remorse about, and just kind of helps aid that process of releasing that. So that is the Copaiba. Then I'm going to talk about the Myrrh. So I just got back from doTERRA leadership in Phoenix. I guess it was about 3 weeks ago. And so they have 2 brand new touch oils they just came out with. And number 1 is Myrrh. And I am so excited about that for so many reasons. First of all, isn't it fun to just say the word Myrrh? It's just such a weird word, Myrrh. But it's the oil of Mother Earth. It's drying, it's healing, and it's nurturing. And it is also a steam distilled resin, and it comes in a 15 ml bottle, or now the new touch. And the reason I'm excited about it in the touch form is the Myrrh. Oh my gosh, how many of you have ever tried to use the Myrrh out of the bottle? Oh yeah. And why is it a nightmare?
Because it gets stuck and almost glued closed. It's
and it's so thick you can't hardly pour it.
Exactly.
And
if you don't get the cap on all the way, it just gets stuck and it turns into like glue. It really does. It's so crazy. And I've always had such a hard time getting it out. So the Myrrh is diluted with the coconut oil. And that's what the touch oils are. They're diluted with the fractionated coconut oil, and they're ready to roll on. So I've been using it like crazy. And I'll tell you how I use it, but it was referred to in the Bible, and they brought gifts of frankincense and myrrh to baby Jesus at his birth and his death. And it was referred to in the Bible as the balm of Gilead. And it was this balm that just had so many healing properties in concert with frankincense. It supports a number of issues. Number one, it's great for your skin, helps with dry skin, great for your gums, keeping your gums healthy, thyroid and immune support. So it's great to roll directly over your thyroid. And there's a couple of different oils you can do for the thyroid. Carrie Sue Smith uses it daily because she's had low thyroid and she was on a lot of thyroid medications for years, and she's completely been off of them using the Myrrh and gosh, I believe it's Balance. There's 4 different oils, and she goes back and forth with the combos of them. And one of them's Balance, one's clove, one's peppermint, and then the other one's Myrrh. So it's just amazing. So it supports the gum disease, thyroid, immune health, coughs. It's great for coughs because it has expectorant qualities as well as decongestant qualities. Great on wounds, hemorrhoids, and yeast overgrowth. So pretty incredible stuff. And as far as the emotional aspects of it, Myrrh assists an individual from feeling disconnected and distrusting to feeling nurtured, secure, and grounded. And Myrrh is in our Immortelle blend, which is for skin, and also in our Forgive blend. Okay, so that's Myrrh. And then lastly, the next oil that they put in the 10 ml roller is Vetiver. And Vetiver's
good.
Yes, it's so exciting because Vetiver I couldn't get Myrrh out of the bottle patiently. I could never get Vetiver out of the bottle. I swear, it was maddening. So I used to take the little cap thing off completely and use it that way. But there's been a number of times I've picked it up and I've spilled it because I took that little, orifice reducer off. So this is amazing. And this oil is the oil of centering and descent. It is regenerating, it's reassuring and enduring. It's also steam distilled, but it's not a resin. It's a steam distilled root. Comes from the roots of a plant that's grown in Haiti. They come in the 15 ml or the touch. The top uses of Vetiver are it's really more emotional and keeping our brain steady. It is wonderful for ADD and ADHD. Anybody who has a hard time focusing, I have a difficult time focusing. I use it a lot. I also use Intune a lot. And the Vetiver is in the Intune. But it's great for focus and concentration. So if you've got problems with it or you feel rattled, it just kind of really grounds you. It's wonderful for depression, stress, anxiety, PTSD, also circulation and skin. I didn't know it was good for circulation. I thought that was interesting. Another thing that I learned today, or not today, but when I was researching it. So Vetiver is in a few of our blends for calming and peace, as it has sedative qualities. That's why it's so great for ADD and ADHD. It helps kind of just work on that side of the brain. And so you'll find the Vetiver in quite a few of our blends, one of them being Holiday Peace, which is one of my personally favorite blends. I know Kathy loves it too. I was just diffusing it in my van. It's so wonderful. And it has Vetiver in it. And then it's a bunch of the pine and fir oils in it. So super, super grounding. It's in Serenity. It's in Peace. It's in Thinker, which is a child's blend to help focus. And then Intune, the focus blend. And so it's just wonderful. And then Whisper, and Kathy's going to be talking about that as well. So the emotional components of Vetiver just help one go from scattered, stressed, and ungrounded to become more rooted, centered, and emotionally aware. So I'm super excited that they took these very viscous oils and put them in an easy way to carry them. So I've been using Myrrh like crazy now, and I carry it in my purse. So highly recommend this one.
I have a question.
Okay.
So, you talked about the ADHD and the ADHD. My son, we adopted him when he was little, and he's a meth baby. So, that's why we have use the lavender on him. He's the one that breaks. He's on his second colt that he's breaking now. If you guys see him on, yeah, and yeah,
And
so
you know, it's a really nice earthy aroma, so he might wear it as like a cologne.
They use it for addiction. Remember when we had the addiction class? I mean, it's used for addiction.
Yeah. And Wanda, I would also suggest putting it on the bottom of his feet at night when he's going to bed. It will help him calm down and sleep better. And it gets into his bloodstream really quickly during when he puts it on his feet.
Okay. And that's what I do with butter. Like I said, he knows sometimes he'll just say, "Mom, can you put some lavender on me?" And he'll put his neck down so I could put it on the back of his neck and then on his feet. So, but okay, that's wonderful. Good to know. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else? Questions? No? Okay. So Kat?
Okay. So you mentioned a couple I was going to talk about, and I didn't know about Whisper, so I'm not prepared to talk about Whisper, but and as far as the Copaiba and Deep Blue Stick, I wish I had it to show you. It's upstairs where I'm using it morning and night on my foot because I've had some issues with a little bit of swelling and pain in my foot. So what they've done is put the Deep Blue. Oh, you've got it. There you go. Perfect.
Thanks, Wanda.
Yes, that's helpful. It's about a 6-inch tall stick that has the consistency of kind of like an oily deodorant, for lack of a better way to put it. It is fantastic because when you roll it on, number one, you get it right in the area that you want it, and you don't get it on your hands. So that is always the biggest issue for me with the Deep Blue rub, was always having to wash my hands somewhere before I got it in my eyes or other places that are even more uncomfortable. So I just love the Deep Blue Stick, and the Copaiba, as Kimberly was talking about, has so many benefits. And one of the best benefits when it's mixed with the Deep Blue is it acts as an accelerant, for lack of a better way to put it. It increases the efficacy of the oils that are in the Deep Blue when it's mixed with them. Copaiba does that for every oil that you mix it with. So if you want to make whatever you're using have a bit more intensity, layer it with a drop of Copaiba, or use the Copaiba touch stick that Kimberly just showed us, and you'll get even more effect from those oils. Moving on, the next ones, I'm doing some newer oils, and one of them is the Madagascar Vanilla. It's amazing. So if you haven't ordered this, this is kind of a must, in my opinion, if you love the flavor and the aroma of vanilla. It's got this rich and creamy and sweet flavor to it. Oh, and Wendy's pulling it up. I put a link in there, folks, if you guys wanted to do a little bit more research on vanilla. I'm not going to go into all of the ways that they make it, but it is one of the most expensive oils in the world to process, which is why it costs a little bit more than you would think. It wholesales for $35, which isn't that bad in my opinion, but it has been diluted with a little bit of fractionated coconut oil. What was I gonna say? Oh, I use it for cooking. I use it for diffusing. I add it to my different kinds of beverages that a vanilla would taste delicious in, like a coffee. It is more potent. 1 drop is going to go a really long way. And it's different from the vanilla extract that you would typically use in your cooking. The vanilla extract is mixed with an alcohol base. So it's going to be thinner and have some mineral qualities to it. Whereas the vanilla absolute is only vanilla. And the fractionated coconut oil, but you don't have any mineral and chemical residues in there. Next, moving on, I'm going to talk about the Malama.
Oh, yeah.
Not really sure which way to say it. I say it different every time I talk about it. It's not in any of our books. It's neither is the Madagascar Vanilla yet in my Essential Life book or my Emotion book, so I couldn't go into the emotional aspects of it or any more detail, but and it's the same with all 3 oils I'm talking about tonight. They're too new to be in our book. This one is a one-time special offer. I'm seriously hopeful that they make this a long time blend, but in the meantime, you can get 4 as long as the supply doesn't run out. And it is divine. I ordered 4 because it's just so good. So here's what it has in it. It has orange, cedarwood, coriander, amyris, lemongrass, magnolia, ylang ylang, and then nio wood and sandalwood, and a couple others that you may not have heard of. And this is sourced in Hawaii in the, let me see if I can say this right, mountain reserve, one of those words. And it's one of the largest reforestation efforts in Hawaii's history. And doTERRA is a partner there for sourcing these, the oils that are in this blend. You can diffuse it, you can add it to your hand and body lotion, you can put some on your wrist or your diffuser jewelry. I actually put some on a little stone next to the chair that I sit in all the time that is a diffusing stone, and it just smells divine. I also added it today to some dryer balls, and it added a really nice smell to my towels. So
I added it in my bathtub today. It was really nice.
Isn't it such a nice oil? The combination of the citrus and the florals and the woods, there's something about all of those without putting any herbal in. It's except the lemongrass, I guess that's an herbal, and a coriander, but it just really, really smells divine. The last one is Tulsi, or holy basil. And this one, we were talking about bringing some oils tonight that we didn't know what to do with. This was my oil that I didn't know what to do with. So I decided to talk about it because it's fairly new. It is a normal oil. It's not a one-time oil. And I learned that a little bit about it when I was researching it. It's got this really calming aroma. It smells spicier than a typical basil would. But if you cut into a fresh basil, it kind of has that aroma, not our basil oil, but a fresh basil cut has that little bit of spice to it. The Tulsi holy basil smells a little bit more like that. They've used it for centuries in different rituals around the world. It's just a very calming smell. It is used in oral hygiene in a lot of places. So I've actually added several drops of this to my doTERRA mouthwash. It's not already in the mouthwash. So I just decided, since it's known for oral hygiene, that I would add it in there. It suggests that you gargle with it anyway. So I figured, well, I'm just going to add it to what I'm already gargling. And then let me see if I've missed anything here. It says that it's really good for anxiety. I found another on my app. I found a few emotional components to it. It says anxiety, emotional stress, oral hygiene, skincare. And then some suggest that it can be used for headaches, congestion, muscle discomfort, insomnia, and menstrual conditions. Not to be outdone by the very last point, an aphrodisiac. So if there's not any better reason that I've listed before that to buy Tulsi, that might be the one.
I love it.
Anyway, so that's my oil that I didn't know what to do with, that now I'm going to use it in my mouthwash. I'm going to add it to calming diffuser blends when I need to have a little bit calmer, probably put it in with some of my adaptive. And I'd love to open it up to oils that you might have brought that you have questions with tonight that you don't know how to use. So let's talk about some of them.
Who'd like to start?
Well, Bings, you just talked about basil. I put that on my temple for migraines with peppermint. And I was wondering if it would be like the same as basil, regular basil.
Well, it says that it's good for headaches in my EOE app. It didn't mention that in the doTERRA app. I mean, the doTERRA website, but if it's helpful, I don't see why it wouldn't be something to try.
Okay.
Yeah, it does say so this is a great little book that I use when traveling. It's called Essentials of the Earth. And they also have an app that you can upload. And it does say for use for headaches in here.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Well, I know if anybody else gets migraine headaches, the basil and the peppermint, and then putting frankincense on the roof of your mouth. You put the two oils on your temples and the back of your neck. Here I am demonstrating this, and you can't see me.
Well, and this one smells better. If you're going to have to walk around with any oils on your face, for the Tulsi smells much better to be wearing around than our other basil does.
Okay.
It's good tea also, the Tulsi.
What tea?
Tea. I've had Tulsi tea, so I wonder if you can't make
It's,
tea with
not
that.
smelling good to you. We've talked about this before. Right now, I cannot stop smelling the Tulsi. It smells so amazing. And I never thought it smelled good really before tonight, but something about it tonight is working for me. It
Must be the aphrodisiac, or was that the other one?
That's it.
that one.
Kathy's going to use it in her bedroom tonight.
It's a good thing my husband just pulled up and hasn't walked in yet to hear that.
Surprise, honey. I love it.
I love the sweet fennel. I love sweet fennel. I just love the aroma. I diffuse it all the time, but I'm thinking it's mostly for cooking, right? But what else can we use it for? I'm thinking I have this and I love the aroma, but what else should I be using it for?
Well,
so good.
I will tell you one thing that fennel is wonderful for is breastfeeding mamas. Not that you're doing that, Barbara, but if you know, like my daughter-in-law, trying to bring in the milk or bring in more milk. So if you know any breastfeeding mamas, fennel is wonderful to put directly on the breast, not on the nipple, but around the breast, and it will help produce milk production, which is wonderful. And it's also really good for, flatulence. If you're feeling really gassy and or constipated, you can take it internally as well as rub it on your tummy.
Nice. Oh, good. Thank you.
Yeah. Good stuff.
That's something for blood clots also, and bruises.
Oh, bruises. That's good to know. Yeah.
Blood clotting.
Don't know what we ran into. Just have a bruise there.
Kimberly, what did Darby used fennel for. He used to use it a lot.
He used to use fennel. He drank it. He put it in his water with basil. It was basil and fennel. And I remember the first time I tried it, I was kind of like, whoa, but he used it for digestion. And then also the oils for, I believe there's some qualities for addictions.
Oh, okay.
So he used both of those in his water. And I got hooked on that for a while. I was drinking a drop of fennel and a drop of basil in my water.
We call it the Darby now.
Yes.
The Darby. Add a little ice and a sprig of mint and it's go.
Yeah, it's really good.
Thank
And
you,
the
lady.
fennel is really good in a marinade for pork, just saying.
I know
Oh,
look, you're the one. So okay. for
Yeah.
both.
awesome. Anybody else have uses for fennel?
No, but I'm wondering about hyssop,
Oh.
how to use hyssop.
Oh, good one.
Well, we don't have hyssop
Might give us a hiccup.
alone. Hyssop is in a couple, well, we just had it, wasn't that one of the Christmas
Yes,
oils?
Wasn't it in that ancient oils collection?
Yes, it was the
Yeah.
ancient collection. And that's a good one. That I know nothing about. Other than
I
it's,
thought I had a little one of it.
You know, I know some history about hyssop, and it was timely on Good Friday when Jesus was on the cross and he was dying, and the soldiers put a sponge with some hyssop and put it up to give him something to his mouth to relieve the pain. I remember that even as a kid so well.
Really?
But it-
Oh my gosh, Barbara, that's so good to know.
That's interesting. The Catholic said that he was given vinegar.
Oh, really? No, because I'm a cradle Catholic.
And
so
and that was horrifying.
I know.
to
that's
me.
horrible. Oh, yeah. Well, that's just to add, but apparently there were some soldiers, Roman soldiers, that took pity, because he
Mhm.
was to death, and they put it up on a big pole and a sponge.
Yeah.
Let him, suck on it because he was so thirsty. Because he said,
Oh, that's interesting.
I remember that when you said hyssop. I go, where have I heard that before?
Wow.
Yeah, because I have a little bottle of it and I'm not sure what to do. And it's doTERRA. So
Now, what should I do with this?
Kathy, I think you're muted if you wanted to say something, Kathy.
I was just saying, I even searched it on doTERRA's website and they don't have it listed anymore on their website.
well,
Did you
I
buy the ancient oils, Kathy, at Christmas time?
I do have it.
Yeah.
did not. But it
I
says
didn't
it's
think
used to treat respiratory and digestive ailments and as an antiseptic for minor cuts. It has antifungal and antibacterial activity against some strains of pathogens.
okay,
Very
that's good to
interesting.
know.
It is.
Well, that was a good question, Don.
Mhm.
Anybody else have an oil that they want to know about?
Okay, I do, but I don't know how to say it. Neoli?
Yeah.
Neroli?
Neroli.
Yeah.
Neroli or Neoli? We have both.
Oh,
Okay.
because I had the roll, the Neroli roll. Yeah.
Right, that's Neroli, but the Neoli was a special oil that we got as a product of the month.
Oh, really?
Right.
Yes, it's Neouli, Neoli. I love it.
Oh.
Yeah.
What is it? For and
Yeah, you've got the Neoli. That's the Neoli.
Yeah.
So the Neoli is,
oh,
Oh.
and it's lovely. It's a very nice aroma for opening up your airways. I think it would help with allergies.
or asthma. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good, because I have asthma, especially
Wow.
with all this dust here in Arizona.
Yeah.
Is it still available? online if you looked it up? I mean, is it still offered?
No, it wasn't. It's not for sale. It's not an oil that you can purchase.
Oh,
Special oil that doTERRA, see, period, with all of their blends, a lot of their blends, they don't sell certain oils that are
yeah.
in some of their blends. And so every once in a while, they have a big enough volume of it that they offer it either as a one, you know, as a special, or then they were starting to give us Robin Sarah's, another one that's in a couple of our oil blend. And so they gave it as a gift for purchasing your LRP order by the 15th of the month. It becomes a product of the month. So always look at those product of the months. We post them on This Stuff Really Works on the 1st, and usually you'll get a newsletter from doTERRA and it will tell you, but that was the only way you could get Natalie was by doing the product of the month. It's oil too.
Thanks for that. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, you're welcome. Who else?
Well, they don't really have, they do last a very long time. They don't, some do have an expiration, but really they last a long time. And when you think about it, and you think about baby Jesus and myrrh and frankincense and what they're used for, they probably should last a long time. But I do not have the expert definition on that. I'm sure Kimberly or Wendy would.
I've heard that they don't spoil, right? They don't spoil. They just maybe lose some of their effectiveness.
Potency.
They really don't. doTERRA had to start putting expiration dates on because they were required. When they first came out with the oils, they weren't on there. And as long as they're taken care of and you don't have them sitting in heat
right,
or in light, in sunlight or in direct light, that's why they're in the brown bottles to protect them. So go through extreme temperature changes and in the heat, they can last you for a lifetime, you know. And the oils that can go rancid are generally the ones that aren't doTERRA because they're cut with other stuff. Also, if you make an oil blend, just so you know, because a lot of times we make our own little concoctions, right? We take a roller ball and we'll put 2 or 3 oils and then we'll put some fractionated coconut oil. Oftentimes, because we've done it and it's the process of touching it, it's not as, you know, sterile. That. And when oils sit for a long time, particularly if you're using like an olive oil or some other oil that tends to go rancid, vitamin E oil goes rancid easily. There's a few different oils that do. So then, you know, you can open the bottle and it doesn't smell right. And generally what it is it's that combo with the air exposure along with the carrier oil. And it can go rancid, especially if it's been in the heat.
Right.
That answers your question.
And
It does. Thank you.
Sorry about the TV. There's a fly came here. How's there a fly already? But it came, I don't know where he came from, but I hit him with the TV remote and it turned on the TV. So that's what that burst of loud noise was. Anyway, how do you say the basil?
Tulsi.
What's the name of the basil?
Tulsi, was that it?
Kathy, you're muted.
Sorry, I have a loud dog and a loud husband that's in the house now. This is called Tulsi and it's Tulsi. And it also has in parentheses, holy basil.
Okay.
You'll love it. It's
basil.
Holy basil.
What's the name of the other carrier? doTERRA came out with recently, not olive oil or something we have around the house, you know, just think it would make our oils last longer and keep them from disintegrating.
Yeah. Well, as long as you keep the cap on tight on your oils, they should not really disintegrate.
No, I haven't had any problems with any of mine.
Okay, Linda's gonna.
Okay, here you go.
Okay.
Irritated skin. Okay, ingredients. Yeah, get my magnifying out. Grape seed oil, rosa something seed oil, hemp seed oil, tepacola, I don't know, and sunflower seed oil.
Nice.
So about 5 or 6 different seed oils.
Thank you, Linda.
I'm sorry I can't pronounce them better.
That's okay. No, I knew there was another blend that they had come out with recently.
Right. It says formulated to soothe and calm dry, distressed, and irritated skin.
Awesome. Perfect.
So I guess you don't actually have to use it with an oil like the other you usually blend. This one could be used to soothe dry skin by itself. So thank you for having me read that, because I need some of that.
That would be perfect to mix this malama oil with.
Malama.
Malama. Kimberly has to correct me every
No
time. and
relation
I'll
to
never
Malama.
remember.
Well, that's only because I heard him say it at conference. They kept calling it Malama, so it's in my head
Okay.
now.
Well, that with that new carrier oil would be fantastic when you
Mhm.
need a little extra love.
That says dilute 1 part essential oil to 5 parts or more of the carrier oil blend, depending on skin sensitivity, or as dedicated.
I love
by the
jelly
essential
tasting.
oil
It's so
label.
much fun. Look what I get to
Cannot-
take home with me.
Can also be used to minimize sensitivity skin reactions to essential oils by applying directly to the affected area.
Nice. Very nice.
All right, well, I guess y'all should buy some of this.
And it's in a dropper too. That's great.
Yeah, it is. I've only used it a couple times, but I have opened it. But I will use it tomorrow after
There you
my
go.
shower.
See, that's why this is great. It makes us cognizant of what we've got in our stashes.
Yep. All right.
I like the options because like the yarrow palm that Wendy was talking about earlier, the body serum that you can put on after your shower. That would be something that I would tend to do if I'm showering in the morning and it's a normal day, and potentially when I'm going to be at home, because my sensibilities, the yarrow takes a little while to dissipate. So it's not where I'm going to wear it out to a cocktail party necessarily, that aroma, but having the option to use the oil that Linda was just talking about and putting in some really sexy oil like Tulsi.
Woohoo.
I just can't get off that.
Whoa!
Or Malama,
Watch out.
and rubbing it all over your décolletage before you go out to your cocktail party. Now that's an option, you know.
There you go.
So Rowena was asking a couple of questions. She was wondering about what to
Sorry.
do with her Siberian fir and also her spearmint essential oils. Anybody have any suggestions for those?
I just was reading about Siberian fir because I have that. And It says muscle fatigue, muscle pain, sinusitis, urinary tract infection, oxygenating the cells. So there's quite a few different things to use.
Yeah, and I love the aroma of Siberian fir. We used to have white fir in our catalog, and they had some issues with the supply chain there. So they took away our white fir, and they wanted us to fall in love with Siberian fir, which isn't exactly the same to me, but I'll just
Close.
accept it.
It's close.
It's close. But
I agree
love
with you.
learn
I
to
like
shift.
I feel the same
I
way.
like it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I like it, but our white fir absolutely
hands down,
incredible.
my favorite.
Yeah.
So I used to,
if-
I like Siberian fir with wild orange in my diffuser. It's just a really fresh, pretty, simple smell.
I've used that
It's one of my
before.
favorite ones.
That's what I did when I was selling a house. I diffused that every time somebody was coming to look at my house. It was
Yeah, that's
Siberian fir and
great.
wild orange.
Yeah, it's a really pretty combination.
Yeah.
I still have white fir because I bought a bunch of it before they quit. And the white fir, I haven't actually tried the Siberian fir this way, but I need to try it now that I'm talking about it, because I used to put the white fir on first on a joint that hurts.
Yep.
Then you put the deep blue rub on it, and you can actually feel the heat go down.
Yep.
So
Wow.
I'm thinking that Siberian fir would maybe be the same. I'm hoping so.
Better try it.
Worth a try. Worth
Yeah.
a try. Yeah. And what
Yeah.
about spearmint? Does anybody have any suggestions for spearmint? Kathy?
I've used it for cooking, but that's pretty much all.
And I've used it
hardly
in,
ever.
yeah, I've used it in blends in my diffuser, but I can't tell you what the other oils were. And I just remember adding spearmint and feeling like it had a very clean spa-like aroma.
Right here?
But
You weren't
just
right
in a
here.
just in a
For the other
small
corner,
just in a
drive
small
around
amount. I don't add a lot.
long RV park,
Huh.
and there's some RVs
Oh.
parked here. I saw that.
I'm gonna
It's really good though.
let you know.
I know like peppermint, if you're outside when it's a hot day, and this might be a really good use for it. You can use it instead of peppermint. You can use spearmint as a cooling element. Like if you're overheated, you could put a little spritzer together with some spearmint. It will work really well for that purpose too.
Yeah, and if you have, I have those cooling rags that you can freeze. I bet spritzing that on would help too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the humidity.
Yeah.
Well, I
it's
hope
also
that
good for bronchitis. Sorry.
Oh, no, it's great. I hope that if you have any questions about essential oils going forward, that you'll access the This Stuff Really Works Facebook page, and don't be shy. Go ahead and post your question there, and you'll get all kinds of input from the people on that group, okay? And thank you so much for sharing your love of essential oils with us and being a part of our group. We really appreciate you being here. All righty. I'm going to go ahead and close off our call tonight. Is that okay if I do that? It looks like I'm a little bit frozen again.
Okay. Good night. Thank you.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night.